I did want to go over how much I make per car on Turo. So for example, today I dropped off the Tesla, took the Tahoe here to the airport and just dropped it off. Both trips were for 5 days and I made... What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. So for those of you who don't know, I have a small rental fleet that I rent out on Turo. Just a Chevy Tahoe and a Tesla Model 3. I even rent out my personal car sometimes. But I figured I would take you guys along on just a normal day when it's just Turo stuff. So some days I'm doing Airbnb work, some days I'm doing Turo stuff, some days I'm doing many other things. But today, at least the first half of the day, is pretty much just Turo stuff. So I figured I'd take you guys along, show you the process of, I have a couple cars to wash, a few drop-offs, I gotta get a tire fixed on one of the cars. And these are just like the normal things I do. I gotta drop off one of the cars at a normal drop-off location that the cars are always picked up at. And then another car has a airport delivery. So I just figured, if you guys wanna know how much money I'm making off of these cars, how much potential there is, or if you guys are thinking about just making a little extra side income and renting your car on Turo, this is what it actually looks like, this is what I'm actually making, and I'll share that with you guys too. So I'm gonna go pick up the Tesla right now. I'm actually in one of the Turo cars right now, but I'm gonna wait to get it washed since I have to get the tire fixed and I don't want them to make it dirty while they're moving it around. So anyways, I will see you guys once we get to the Tesla. So Teslas are pretty nice to rent on Turo because one thing that's good is there's no maintenance, there's no oil changes, there's no transmission, braking, there's no, a lot of common issues that happen with cars Teslas don't have. But one thing that is a pain is that, I wouldn't say a pain, but one thing that is true is that when guests charge the car at the supercharger, that gets charged to your account or my account. Oh, hang on. I gotta hold my coffee so I don't spill it while I drive. So when a guest charges the car at a supercharger, it'll get charged to my account. And then after the guest drops off the car, I will just send them an invoice for whatever the supercharging was. Turo is pretty good about having my back as far as if the guest doesn't pay, they'll just reimburse me. This is true for supercharging, gas reimbursements, tolls, stuff like that. But when it comes to like regular invoices, for instance, I had somebody drop off another car, the Tahoe that I have. Someone dropped off my Tahoe, completely busted the windshield. And they just said that it must have happened after they dropped it off, which is obviously very unlikely. So I tried to get in to pay for it and they didn't want to pay for it. So I ended up just having to come out of pocket since my Turo insurance, I'm on the 90-10 plan, which means I keep 90% of my profit and give 10% to Turo. But to keep 90% of my profit, I have to have a pretty high deductible. So my deductible is $2,500 and obviously the windshield repair was less than that. So I ended up just coming out of pocket. Not that big of a deal, it happens, but I just got to the car wash. One thing that's nice is I just have a car wash membership for all the cars so I can just drive through. I mean, of course I know as a detailer that driving a car through a car wash is just causing scratches, swirls, whatever, but I'm washing these cars 7 to 8 times a month. There's no way I would be able to grow a business if I'm sitting there hand washing every car now. For the Range Rover, that might be a little different story, and as I get like some nicer cars for the fleet, like as soon as I get like a G-Wagon or something, I'm not sure if I would be taking that through a car wash like this. But for the cheaper cars, I mean, this is a Tesla. Tesla's paint is kind of shit anyways, so it saves me a lot of time. All right, we are back at the drop-off location. Now it's just time to park the car, take some pre-trip photos, log the miles, make sure everything's good to go. The car's charged. Guest doesn't pick up the car till 11:30, and it's now not even 9:30, so I got plenty of time there. But I do need to go and get the Tahoe tire changed and get that washed too before another pickup at the airport at 2:30. All right, so I've been waiting here at the tire shop for about an hour. They just looked at the Tahoe and let me know that the tires don't have enough tread to patch it like I originally wanted. So they just gave me a new quote to put in all 4 new tires. I don't have time to do this today. I don't even think they have them in stock. So I'm going to go ahead and order these, and then I'm just gonna put some Fix-A-Flat in the tire and then drop it off at the airport and hope for the best. You know, your tires get worn out. Your tires get worn out pretty fast when the car is being rented. Car gets more miles. I put on like maybe 30,000 miles a year for my rental cars just because, like I said, guests are renting them for road trips, so they're just constantly getting driven. Not too big of a deal. I kind of wanted new tires anyways because I'll show you guys actually. The person who sold me this car, I don't know why in the world they did it, but they put Cadillac rims on a Tahoe and they like painted them black. So these are the rims and they're like chipping really bad. Pretty much every single time I drop off the car after I get it washed, I have to spray paint the rims because they're constantly chipping and it looks really bad. So I've been saying forever, I'm like, eventually when the tires get old, I'll get all new tires, all new rims and make it look better. So I'm gonna go ahead and order these tires for about $2,000 and then order a new set of rims, and then at least the car will look a lot better and it'll be quieter, drive better. You know, it's part of the business of Turo and owning cars is buying tires and making small repairs, so nothing to complain about. But I'm gonna take this Tahoe and I'm going to put some Fix-A-Flat in it. That'll work for the next week or so. It's got a really slow leak. Like it's every like 4 days I have to put a little bit of air in it, so it's not too big of a deal. But it does kind of suck to wait there for an hour just for them to tell me you can go fix it yourself. And we are on to the next stop. All right, I just finished cleaning the Tahoe. Man, I forgot what it felt like to like vlog your day and make videos. If you guys who have actually been subscribed to me for a long time have watched my old videos of me like detailing cars and stuff, I forget because like it takes me normally 30 minutes to wash a car, but I forget how much time it takes to like set up the tripod, get the right angle. I might have forgot to hit record, so I gotta do it again. For you guys, it's just like, you just saw 2 seconds and 2 little clips, but for me, I'm like, oh my God, I forgot I'm hot. All right, so I made it to the airport. I just took the pre-trip photos, checked everything out. Tahoe looks good. The guest actually messaged me and let me know that they're on their way to the car right now, so I'm trying to film this before they walk in and awkwardly see me filming, but car's all dropped off, it's all clean. I put a little extra paint on the rims, some tire shine. Now I'm just making my way up to where I get an Uber so I can go home. I don't actually have a ride today. Normally, I'll kind of work something out, so I'll have a friend come pick me up, throw them 10 or 20 bucks or buy them lunch or something, but today it's Uber. So I'm gonna go, there's a little pickup drop-off location over there by the airport, and that's where I'm heading now. So I haven't had the chance to film this part yet today just because of the logistics of dropping the cars off and getting them washed and everything, but I did want to go over how much I make per car on Turo. So for example, today I dropped off the Tesla, took the Tahoe here to the airport and just dropped it off. Both trips were for 5 days and I made about what I normally make on each trip. So you can kind of break it down by day and by year and kind of get an idea of how much you could make. Okay, so I'm back home now and I'm gonna go over the actual numbers with you guys. I have it pulled up here on my laptop so I can actually see. Okay, so for the Tahoe, it ended up being a 5-day trip at $94 per day. Minus the 3-day discount that I give to all my guests. Now, since I delivered this one to the airport, I charge a $120 fee. That's for the whole trip, pick up and drop off, so that any guest flying in can just pick it up from the airport instead of having to get an Uber and drive to my pickup location. So the total that the guest paid, minus if they pay any extra fees on Turo's side, which I'm sure they do, the guest paid $566.50. Now again, since I'm on the 90-10 plan, I do give Turo 10% of my gross earnings, which is $56.65, making my grand total $509.85. This is for a 5-day booking, so you guys can just do the math on that. If this car is booked year-round, 20 days out of the month, what is that per day? That's $94 a day. So if it's booked 20 days out of the month, which is pretty normal, at $94 a day, that comes out to, I don't know, I'll put the math here up on the screen so you guys can actually see. And all of this can depend on your area and what kind of car you have and if it's very seasonal or not. But now I'll switch to the Tesla. I wanted to show you guys what I meant about the charging. So for this one, $67 per day at a 7-day trip. They originally booked for 5 days, but then extended 2 more days, making 7 total. So minus the 3-day discount at $23, And you can just forget about the non-refundable discount. I don't even do that anymore. I just took that off last week, so I'm not even gonna talk about that. So you can see here, post-trip charging $15. That means that I gave the guest the car fully charged and then they returned it with less of a charge. So I charged them $15 to fill it up at the supercharger, even though I ended up just plugging it in at my drop-off location. Plus, I charged them a $10 convenience fee. They did take the Tesla all the way down to Miami, which is pretty far from Panama City where I live. It's maybe a 10-hour drive. So they did hit some tolls on the way there. So I charged them the toll bills, $35. Again, all three of these charges are just reimbursements. They're not money that I'm making, which is why I'm getting into why Teslas are a little bit more confusing than other cars. And then down one more, excess distance reimbursement. This basically means that they just went over on their miles. So with my cars, I have it set that you can drive 200 miles per day. And if you go anything over that, I just charge you a small fee per mile. And then we have on-trip charging, $254.87. So while the guest had this car for the week, every single time they plug into a supercharger, that was getting charged to my Tesla account, which has my credit or debit card on it. So while the trip was going on, I am paying for the charging. Then after the guest drops off the car, then I send them all these invoices and reimburse so that they can reimburse me for the trip. So all in all, wait a second, that's not right. I was gonna say my profit is $710, but let me actually put my phone down and do the math on what my profit would be before I sent all these invoices. Okay, so I took off the post-trip charging and the tolls since those are just reimbursements to me. I did have to pay those separately. I kept on the post-trip charging because I literally just plugged it into my outlet. The convenience fee, I kept. The excess miles, I kept that too. That's not an expense. That money actually does go directly to me. So minus the on-trip charging and minus the tolls comes out to $421 in profit for that full trip. Obviously, this doesn't account for my car insurance and any expenses I have with the car. But as far as Turo goes, $421 for the Tesla, and then the Tahoe was $509. And then I made that in less than a week with two cars. So you guys can kind of get an idea if this is something that you want to do. Take this math, multiply that by if you have 10 cars, if you want to get 20 cars, and you can kind of grasp how much you could possibly make just doing this yourself. Now, I would say personally, based off of my experience, I think once you get past 20, maybe 30 cars if you're really badass, but 20 to 30 cars before you need to start hiring some type of help to help you. One thing that I do have to do all the time that I mentioned before is have someone drive me to the airport or get an Uber to the airport, and having an extra person would be very beneficial as far as dropping the cars off. So I hope you guys like this kind of video, and please comment below if you found this video because you were looking up Turo stuff. Let me know, and if you want to see more types of videos like this, because I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, but I am going to get more cars, and I'm going to grow this to be bigger than just a little hobby with two cars. And I might post more videos on it, I might not. It just depends on, you know, what I think my YouTube subscribers will actually watch and like and enjoy. So if you guys are interested in the Turo stuff, leave a comment below, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.